Recording in progress.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Hungry Fitness community call. So excited to be here and so excited to introduce our newest coach to the Hungry Fitness team, Marita Bloom. Welcome. We are pumped to have her. She's from Florida. And a couple things about her. She's been coaching for over 6 years and definitely loves to and specializes in helping women rediscover their strength in terms of training, in terms of nutrition, in terms of mindset. I think mindset is a huge one that Marita is very passionate about. But she also specializes in hormone and thyroid health, as well as pre and postnatal fitness, and is an amazing personal trainer and our one coach on our team that can well, I shouldn't say our one coach, but our one coach that actually has it listed in her bio as specializing in vegan and vegetarian nutrition. We have a lot of clients that are interested in that and want help with strategizing on that. And most of us are not super specialized in that, so that's fun too. I think for clients that want that expertise as well. And welcome, Rita.
Thank you. Make me sound so important.
Well, we're excited. We're so excited to have you and excited to get to know you more. So I thought it would be fun to do a little kind of get to know you call and ask her some questions. But if anyone has any questions for her, then feel free to add them to the chat and I will definitely throw those in as well. And we'll just kind of get started. Okay, so first question is how long have you been coaching? We talked a little bit about that. And what inspired you to coach in nutrition and fitness? Like what got you started?
As you said, it's 6 years I've been coaching. I did some personal, like in-person personal training before that. Um, but it was my own struggle with my body. I was just talking to a client about this and I was like, like the trend online, like what's the men's Rome or like ask men about their Roman Empire. And I was like, I feel like for women, it's their body, it's their weight. And it's something I know that consumed my thoughts every day of my life through my adolescence and into my early 20s. And um, when I finally learned how to nourish my body, how to move it in a way that made it feel better, changed the way it actually looked, and everything worked for me. I was like, I have to share this with women. Like we have to know this, and it just became this mission inside me almost.
Yeah, I get that. And I think a lot of the coaches on the team feel the same way. It's once you realize that for yourself, it's hard not to share that with everyone too. What something do you think that people might be surprised to learn about you?
Oh, I think in general, like with most coaches, we're not perfect. We have lives, we have our days that are off. But me specifically, I am, I mean, I don't come from like an athletic background. I don't come from an athletic family, and mastering this and having a balance in my life with fitness and nutrition doesn't have to come from anything other than the desire to want to change. And I think that kept me stuck for a long time, just kind of looking at my circumstances and what I was given. And you're like, oh, well, I'm not an athlete. I can't change my body. But I think to some degree, everyone is just in their own way.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't really CrossFit anymore, but I one thing that I have always loved about CrossFit is the saying that everyone is an athlete, essentially, like in this kind of fitness world. And I love that mindset because I have always identified as an athlete and I am no longer doing athletics, nor have I done athletics for like decades have I competed in sports. But I think having that mindset allows you to push through obstacles and barriers and also like be more objective with your fitness and not so much like in the sense of like I'm always continuing to grow and continuing to learn and continuing to improve versus just like arriving at a destination. So, and I think too, fitness can be so fun. So it's like if you think of yourself as an athlete, then you bring a lot of the joy back into it in the same way. I think kind of when I think of as an athlete, I almost think of like my childhood self. And so I think it's like we did a lot of movement for fun, like just for fun when we were kids. And so bringing that in to our fitness definitely makes it way more sustainable and, way easier to do. With that kind of being said, like what are some of your favorite ways to move your body?
Uh,
Yeah.
I live and die on the strength training hill. That I love. I've gotten into yoga recently, and I was never someone that could like sit down to do yoga, and it has one made strength training easier, but two, it's quieted my mind. I've loved doing that. Um, I ran for a long time and then I stopped that, and that's something I'm getting back into recently because if I quit running, I want it to be a choice. I don't want one day to be like, oh, I can't move my body anymore. So that's been fun. And again, I do it from a fun place. Like it wasn't fun when I had to compete and it was like miles and miles, but just let me go out and see what my body can do today is a cool feeling.
Yeah, I love that. I the last year when I ran a lot, I just kind of like stopped looking at my watch and my
Mhm.
splits, and it was nice to just run for fun. Way more enjoyable than back in track and field days when you had to hit certain splits or I think too, a lot of times, a lot of women that I've spoken to that have like that run now, they always are comparing themselves to their splits from, 10 years ago when they were training for a race or whatever. And I think that can be so frustrating too, to just be comparing your mile times to what you used to be able to do and feeling like you're not good enough. And it's like, if that's you, just maybe try running without your watch and just like be in your body because it's so fun, even if you're running really slow in comparison to your prime running days. Um, what does a typical week look like for you at this stage of life?
Oh, okay.
Kind of like a weekday, I guess. What does like a typical weekday look like for you?
I am up at the crack of dawn, 4:30. I guess I'm up before the crack of dawn. Uh,
Yeah.
I let out my zoo of dogs. We have three dogs, and then the cat's normally trying to get back in. Let them out. I go to the gym, and I purposely spend a decent amount of time at the gym in the morning. It's my time. I get some steps in. I sit in the sauna. I lift. Come home, make breakfast for everybody. My partner, he goes off to work. My daughter, she goes to school at 7:30, 8, but that'll be changing. She's starting homeschool the end of next year, at the end of this school year, I guess. And then, I mean, my day is like helping clients. I find I like a lot of side projects. My ADHD likes me like doing things. So I always have so many random things to like got a sourdough starter. The front door is half painted. I've got like paint by numbers. I've got crafts everywhere. I'm redoing furniture. So I try and spend like an hour in the morning with like one of the things that make that's a very 15 to 60 minutes of something that makes me feel good that has no purpose other than making me smile. And then I spend my days either with education, helping clients, tending to my zoo of animals. My daughter gets picked up at like 3:30. We do jujitsu. We're lucky we don't have homework. Then we go on like a family walk, bike ride, start it all over.
That sounds like a dreamy day. What time do you go to sleep usually to get up that early?
I like to be in bed at like 7:38. I try and like get in bed, I read, shut the day down for a little bit, but everyone else thinks I should in the house and he thinks I need to be up till 9. So it's if I can get
Yeah.
in bed.
Yeah. Is that hard, like to manage with your other, like with your family going to bed a little bit later? How do you navigate that?
I mean, I'm very vocal about my boundaries. I'm like, if you want mom to help serve, to help take care of you the way that she not serve, but help take care of you the way she does and want her to be the best version of her, let her go to sleep. And
Yeah.
like my partner and I, we switch off on tuck-in times, like doing
Mhm.
tuck-ins. I'm like, you stay up, you don't have to get up till 6.
Right.
But it's a lot of like, and I think there was the mom guilt at first, like I have to be up, I have to be the one that shuts the home down, but
Yeah.
that's not real. That's something society puts on us. So it's navigating through those feelings, but a lot of it is just being vocal. And I'm like, I need help. So this is what the help's gonna look like, gang.
Yes. There's my homeschooler. I love that. And I think that I have had so many clients that have tried to navigate that. And even myself, like wanting to get up earlier than the rest of my family, knowing I need to go to bed earlier, that can be a challenge when all my kids want tuck-ins. And, it's like figuring out the right level of taking care of myself and my needs so I can show up for my family and not be just like exhausted and resentful, but then also giving them what they need. And so I think, like you said, the best way to do that is to be vocal so that everyone can talk through their expectations and you can find like, here's a compromise. So you're getting what you need, and I'm also getting what I need, and everyone knows what I need. It's not just in my head and I'm being resentful to everybody, right? So I love that. And I also love that you get good sleep too, and you're still able to manage that. So that's really cool. Okay, where do you live and what's something that you love or don't love about it?
I am on the Treasure Coast in Florida, so we're like 2 hours south of Orlando, 2 hours north of Miami. I love most everything about my wonderful town, except that everyone else discovered it in the last 5 years. Um, but I love doing outdoor stuff. I love doing beach stuff, like we paddleboard, we kayak. So I love that aspect.
Yeah.
We have so many bugs though. Oh my goodness, the summer. I grew up in Vegas, so like we didn't
Yeah.
have flying bugs and crawling. We didn't have bugs, and that's not a thing I like. A lot of wildlife here in Florida.
Yeah, yes. But yeah, I know. It's like we don't have bugs in Utah, but it's 8 months of winter. So
Oh, I don't know how. Like I was like, I'll take the 3 months of dying in the summer because it's right. You guys, you are a stronger breed than I am. I'll tell you that.
oh gosh, yeah, I don't know, or crazy. What else? Let's see. Which I don't know if maybe certification, but what like area of expertise have you found to be the most valuable when working with clients?
Um, Mindset, and that's why I put such a big focus on that. I've done some certifications in mindset, but I think a lot of just life experience has made me I mean, not I think I know that's what's made me the coach I am. But I focus heavily on mindset because I treat like we are very ingrained and we love to hold on to our limiting beliefs. It keeps us safe in our little box. And so if we can navigate our mindset through things, you can literally change anything in your life. And there's a lot of, I think there's just a lot of, what's the word? We just get programmed with the I can'ts. And I think we keep ourselves safe with that. And so my biggest thing with clients is just overcoming those I can'ts because you really can.
What do you feel like is one piece of advice you wish every client would take to heart?
Well, this is going to take so much longer than you think.
That's okay. We got time.
No, that's the advice.
Oh, I
No,
thought you were going to explain it. Yes,
but
I second that.
yeah, consistency over perfection. Like we grossly undervalue the ability of just like doing 1% better each day rather than like I have to have
Oh
it
my gosh,
together.
yeah.
And then we're burnt out by Wednesday and that's fine. I'll start again next week or whatever the tale we tell. But it's that 1% better and your consistency will take you further than anything.
I know. I don't know why it is like in any other field, we're not like, okay, I'm going to be the CEO of some top company by next year, or I'm going to be a millionaire by next year. But we're like, I'm going to just completely transform my body in a month. Like, completely. I'm going to gain 15 pounds of muscle and lose 30 pounds of body fat by next month. I just have to do this wild plan and I'll get there. And I don't know why, when it comes to our body composition, people think that it can just happen overnight. And I think maybe some of it is we're bombarded with like before and after photos and quick fix kind of things, I guess, and just so much noise on social media. But it's like anything that's worth having takes time and effort and consistency and showing up when you don't want to. And that doesn't make it not worth doing. Like I think that's the one thing too that I feel like in my own fitness journey is that, yeah, maybe over a decade or 5 years, my physique improved and it was hard work, but the process of getting there is where I learned so much about myself and really grew the most. Like that is the part that nobody sees. You know, I think people put before and after photos up because they're inspiring and cool to see, but what people don't understand is that internally like so much change happens when you pursue something and you are consistent at something and you stay accountable to yourself and show up for yourself, and by like trying to opt out of that part we're missing all the main benefits that you get. So I love that mindset is a big part of what you share with your clients, and also patience too. You can change your life, but it's going to take some time. So I love that. How do you help clients stay motivated, especially when they hit plateaus or they're struggling with being consistent?
Well, we I always we're like motivation, not that it's not real, it's just we're not able to stay in a heightened state of
Mhm.
emotion, right? Like we're not always angry, we're not always sad. So it's reframing that, and then it's focusing on the goals at hand. We're like, okay, I feel like I've plateaued. Actually, have you plateaued, or has it been just a couple weeks? Have we been, so it's the redirection. And I do a big focus on performance goals because it's a lot easier to navigate the boring middle part when you're like, ooh, I'm focusing on deadlifting 1.75 my body weight or whatever the goal might be. And I was just looking at like the health markers for a 40-year-old woman, and that happened to be one of them.
Yes, I
That's why
like
it was in
it.
my head. And it's we can't, if we rely on motivation, we'll get nowhere. And it's the same with like your career, your if you brush your teeth when you're motivated, how often is that going to get done? Hopefully more often than I'm thinking. But it's just the redirection and reframing that mindset of what motivation actually is. And it's not just that heightened feeling in the moment, like, oh, today's a good day to go work out.
Yeah, well, says someone who gets up every morning. One question with that is, how do you motivate yourself to get up in the mornings? Like when you are tired or just don't really feel like it, when your alarm goes off, what do you tell yourself?
That I'm worth keeping the promises to myself. That's a huge thing in my head. Like the yesterday, I have to keep the promises that yesterday Marita made for today Marita. And it's crappy, but then if today Marita holds those promises, tomorrow Marita reaps the benefits. And it's like looking at ourselves in a full spectrum of past
Yeah,
and future.
I love that. I feel like we need that on a shirt. Yes, I like it. I love that because it's so true. Like it's so easy to be like, what was I thinking yesterday? And yesterday you were thinking about your goals and an action plan. And maybe that was like not a realistic action plan. So maybe we need to reevaluate. Like, okay, well, if I'm not waking up today, what do I need to do so that I can wake up tomorrow? Did I not go to bed on time? Like, am I not setting myself up to support the person that made this decision yesterday? And who I want to be tomorrow. And so I love that.
I think it's also like having the goals. Like if I want to get up at 4:30. And so that's, if our goals are in alignment with what works for us rather than
Yeah.
like, I'm going to do her goals because they look good on her.
Yes, absolutely. And I think having a coach can really help you tune in on what your goals should be or like what is optimal for you, looking
Mm.
at your schedule and your where you want to be a year from now and what your life looks like today and how you can kind of set yourself up for success in a way that works for you, moving in that direction, not what maybe the 20-year-old that doesn't have a job or kids is doing, like what's realistic for you? What can we focus on right now, today, um, and ignore all the other things that actually don't matter? So I love that. What is your favorite treat to eat? Like, what's like the thing that you think is the most just fun treat to have?
Cinnamon buns. I am a cinnamon bun
Cinnamon
gal.
bun. Like cinnamon roll or cinnamon bun?
Is there a
Are
difference?
you doing frosting on top or
We
no?
want we want extra frosting at the store, at the bakery. They'll extra frost them for you. I find
Yeah,
that
like
every
cream cheese frosting?
Ooh, no, I like the icing
Like the
frosting.
icing,
And
okay.
then
Are you like a add raisins and walnuts inside or just like keep it just
we'll do
simple?
nuts. I like nuts. That's a good
Okay.
one.
No
Yeah.
raisins.
No raisin.
Okay. Yeah. It's like a 50-50 in my family too. Oh yeah, cinnamon rolls are probably one of my favorite treats.
They're
Yeah.
so, and then yeah, warm. Like I tried those, I'm not like a big packaged part, but those legendary protein cinnamon buns, they're
Really?
for a protein snack, they're amazing. 15 seconds in the microwave.
Oh,
It
I have
is.
not tried them. Well, this one is not macro friendly, but I actually just saved a cinnamon croissant.
Ooh,
No, hold on. Cinnamon roll sourdough focaccia. I'll just send it to everyone.
okay.
I'm gonna say it's not macro friendly,
That's
but
okay.
it looks so good, and apparently it's way easier to make than cinnamon rolls. So I was like, I need to try that and make it on a weekend sometime for my family. So I'll just share it in the group for everybody today. But yes, that sounds delicious. Okay, if you could only do one exercise for the rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Oh, like a strength training exercise? Yeah.
Yeah, let's go with
Okay.
the strength training exercise.
I would say a front rack reverse lunge because we're gonna cover it all.
Oh, yeah. What are we covering for those that like aren't don't know much about weightlifting? Like why are you choosing that one?
We need core stability. It's a great core workout. We're gonna work our glutes and we're just gonna create symmetry doing our unilateral movements.
Yeah.
And you'll
I
work your quads because the weight's resting on the front side.
yeah. That I think that's a good one. A horrible one, but a good one.
It's a horrible one, but
What are three things you always have in your gym bag? And
we have a snack because I get up so early. So I eat like
like
15 minutes to my
what snack
workout.
are you doing? Yeah.
I will have I like I have like the honey sticks. I like those. I put a bag of dates in my bag. I have applesauce packets and I'm feeling
Carbs.
yeah, all
Just
carbs.
like some quick carb options.
I always have a tampon in there because
Um,
that's been an accident before, so we're not doing that again.
I've had, yeah, I feel like I have also had that issue.
Like checked my butt out in the mirror and I'm like,
I'm not
oh
trying to leave
no.
the gym too because of that. Like we got to finish our workout.
Because right on my and I always have a second set of headphones. Like I have the plug-in kind,
Oh,
Bluetooth ones are
you're not
dead.
trying to be silent at the gym on like that's not not a good day. Would you leave the gym if your headphones were dead, or would you just power through?
There's like a little like shop next to my gym, like a Five Below, but it's a non-name brand Five Below, and I've like gone in there to buy cheap headphones because I can't, and I can't let myself have that excuse because I would. I'd be like, I'm out, never mind.
Yeah, yeah,
Someone's gonna try and talk to me, I'm gone.
yeah. I know. I have had my headphones be dead before, and a lot of times I'll just keep them on because I'm like, I actually just need them here for like the safety net.
Dirty.
Yes, please don't talk to me. Okay, well, last question. What's the best advice you've ever received, either in life or in coaching? And I hate that feels so like ultimate. Maybe not the best, but like what's a piece of advice?
Um, just because it's going to take longer than you think doesn't mean you are negate from it. And that was something my coach told me about dealing with gut health. And I was like, this is taking forever. I'm clearly broken. And I was like having a temper
Hard
tantrum
one.
about it. And she's like, maybe it's just going to take longer. I was like, why don't you be quiet? But she was right.
Yeah.
And that's like something I really like. We think because of like age, genetics, whatever's going on, things are going to just take so much longer. So that, or I mean, just you're worth it because I think for a long time I didn't realize I was worth the effort that it takes to be the person I wanted to be.
Yeah. Both of those are so good, especially in terms of gut health too, because it's internal and you can't like see the progress. And I think sometimes when we can't see the progress, it's so easy to not know where it's like just around the corner.
Mhm.
So I love that, knowing your worth. And two, I think probably all the things that you do to get where you want to be are all things that make you feel your best. So it's like maybe you're not seeing that aesthetic goal happen yet, but are you feeling more energy? Are you feeling proud of yourself? Are you feeling more confident because you're showing up and staying accountable to your promises that you're making to yourself? And those things feel so good. And I think sometimes we set ourselves up for failure by making too big of like habits for ourselves or commitments to ourselves. And it's like, let's start small and focus on one at a time and build that trust within ourselves that transfers into so much confidence in the long term.
Confidence, yeah. It's not, I mean, but it's not how we look. It's how we
No,
for ourselves. It's not, I've been every shape and size, and I am only confident when I'm doing the things when I'm following through with what yesterday Marita has me doing today.
yeah, amen to that. And I think everyone on our team would agree with that. Like how you look has nothing to do with how you feel about yourself. It truly is just staying committed to what promises you make to yourself. And that feels so good to because you have trust. You trust you've got your back. So I love that. And we are so lucky to have you on the team and so excited for clients that are getting to work with you. And anything else you want to add? Just for the
I
HF community.
think of, oh, I think you covered it all.
Okay, well, if anyone has questions for Coach Marita, Tag her in the groups, and we just added her to those groups today on the app. So she'll be in there and ask away. And we're so excited to have her. You'll be hearing more from her in upcoming calls and emails. And so, welcome to the team. Thanks
Thank
everyone for joining this week as well. Hope you all have a great day today. Thanks, ladies.